and 1 and a 0-1, then you've got a 2.0 to be considered grade-wise acceptable. You have to have a 2.0. So you do have time to drop a class right now. If you drop it, it's better than if the instructor drops you, because if we have students who go through and they'll take courses and then drop them, or they'll let the professor drop them. Once you're only allowed so many of those.
Yeah.
Then once you drop one and you've hit the limit, they give you an F in it, which is worse, because if you drop it, you get a withdrawal. If I drop you, you get an X. So, or your professor drops you, you get an X. So that you only get it like 2 or 3 X's total.
Yeah.
Because too many kids are. What happens is, particularly, we have a lot of financial aid students here, and once you hit a certain limit, financial aid won't give you any more money.
Yeah.
I will say that I did have a student a few years ago who went to SPC and got her cosmetology license, and then came back 5 or 6 years later because at 18 she didn't know what she wanted. But I guess she worked in the field and realized that's not what she wanted, so she was coming back to get an associate's and move on and get a degree in a different field. And so that was my appeal. I said she should be granted additional financial aid, because at 18, not everybody knows what they want to do with the rest of their life. I didn't. I personally, at one point in time, I was firmly convinced that we should have everybody who graduates from high school should go spend a year in the military just to get out and realize, get some discipline, get some, education of a different kind, that you're in the real world, mom and dad aren't taking care of you, which I know there's a lot of people who don't have mom and dad taking care of them. But because most 18-year-olds are just not mature enough to figure out what they want out of life. I was not. I have a degree in telecommunications, which is TV and radio production, from the 70s, okay? Never worked in it, yet I teach. I teach on, that's interesting, a blue screen. I teach via television now, so.
But you eventually have to pass that class.
Yes, if it's one of the core things that you have to have, yes, you have to pass it. And there's what's your major?
Business administration.
Okay, so is it a math class you're having troubles with? How did I know that? Because that tends to be an issue.
Yeah.
There's curtains on the window. There's red curtains on the windows. I
looked into the tutoring, but I feel like it's too late. Like, we're almost done, and I'm barely getting...
Well, you're only halfway through the semester, okay? As of today, you're at 8 weeks, and it's 16 weeks long, which means there's just 7 more weeks of instruction. Now, did I show you guys tutor.com? Because there are math tutors in tutor.com also.
That's like virtually, right?
Yes.
Because right now, I don't see myself passing.
Okay, so then, how many hours are you taking? Are you full-time? Mm-hmm. You're taking 12? So if you drop, does that hurt your financial aid? Well, what you need to do is you need to go in and talk to somebody in the financial aid department to really because that's what's going to happen. Because if you drop, then somehow you might have to pay back some of that financial aid. But that's not my field. I teach English. I can just know that that's a possibility. So I don't want you to I don't want to say, drop your course, and then all of a sudden they're saying, well, you now owe us $400 for this class you dropped.
Yeah.
But they can give you a better insight into that. Are you taking the co-requisite class in the math, or are you just taking straight 13, 14, or whatever it is?
The straight.
13, 14?
It's like a 13 something.
It's a 4-digit, it's not like an O, okay. The co-requisite class means you take the developmental math along with the whatever math you have to have for your major. There's slight differences in all of them. So what you're looking at is it might be so your scores were okay?
For what?
The TSI?
I was exempt.
Because of STAR test?
I guess.
Okay. All right, so whereas math in college is different, to be honest. Okay. Hi, guys. I don't think I've ever seen y'all this big on the screen before. What has happened is the woman that handles my ITV issues had a family member pass away, and she's not there today. And I sent her like 2 or 3 messages, like, I can't see my schools and all this stuff. And then I look over and I read an email, and I see there's her name as one of the individuals who's lost a family member. And I'm like, oh, I feel horrible. So Let me send this one. I'm gonna send another message to this individual saying, I can't spell 9 o'clock. So I just said, Amy, can you split my screen for my 9 a.m. class as well? So that, and they just set it up on 4s. But it's really nice when you have a big screen, because I can almost tell what they look like, okay? So we're gonna talk a little bit about the summary paraphrase assignment, but for your benefit, they're getting to the point where they may no longer allow instructors to drop students, because we've had to drop so many. COVID has played havoc with attendance. And it's not just COVID, it's students, last year, how many kids had COVID all of a sudden? Somebody in their family had COVID, so they weren't coming to class. Well, I'll just attend through Zoom. They weren't there, And I've got a student who hasn't been in class in 4 weeks, who's turning in work, and I said, this is not an online class. This is a face-to-face class. You have to be here. One of my SPC kids. You have to be in class. You can't just turn in your work whenever you feel like it, So that's one of those issues. And to be honest, I try to keep track of all the high school students. When I'm already dealing with an issue in a couple of classes, a couple of students in a class, saying, I think you need to drop this class because you just haven't turned in your work. And if you don't turn in your work, you can't pass. All right, so let me come over here, 1021, okay. They're doing the pledge. Let's see. So we're waiting for post. We're missing. Okay, so we're missing 3 here, so. Her father is very, very sick, so that creates some issues. Let me go. I need to be in the class. Okay, morning, New Deal. I'm hoping Post is there. I just can't see him because the mics aren't strong enough for it. Traditionally, we didn't used to have the ability to do a split screen. They would, whichever school talked, would take control of the remote camera. But I ran into the problem at my 8 a.m. class that the volume is so poor here that it can't pick up. So, but the schools can hear each other fine. We're the only ones who can't hear the schools. So that's why that's over there. Because we're gonna do some paraphrasing work first. But actually, what I do is make sure that everybody's clear about what you need to turn in tomorrow. Okay? You need. No, that's not it. I'm trying to find the assignment. I handed out the assignment is what I handed out the other day. And I think there's some here somewhere. No, that's not it. Right? That's what I gave y'all on Tuesday. No. Well, summary paraphrase assignment. Here we go. I'm going to have a copy. There.
Thank you.
Okay. And, okay, we got the split screen, awesome. That will be her telling me that, I think, yeah. Okay. Thanks, okay. All right. It just took a second. Hi, Post. So, just yesterday with my 9 and 10 a.m. classes, they were like, now we're supposed to paraphrase something from our summary? I go, no. And I was just totally freaked out, very disappointed, because I get the feeling people are not, just because I'm up here talking doesn't mean you might not need to make notes about what I said occasionally, all right? So I want to make sure that we're all clear on what you have to turn in on tomorrow. So I'm going to go look at announcements because I put an announcement in. I had a student come to my office. It's the second time this week he's been in my office to talk to me about stuff. So I was like, maybe I need to clarify this. And then all of a sudden I'm getting these messages from students saying, my article's 5,000 words. I'm like, why? I told you 900 minimum. Well, do I need to do what you said for that? I'm like, no, I don't need 2,000 word summary of what that article's about. So let's go look over here at the announcement I put in. So, you will create a single document that has the correct MLA formatting, double spacing and heading, just like normal. Underneath the title of the assignment, which is summary/paraphrase, don't put draft, okay? I said nothing's more frustrating as an English teacher to get your final of your narrative and it says narrative draft on it, okay? Or compare and contrast draft, but it's your final. So I'm sitting there going, is this the draft they forgot to turn in? I have to go through that process sometimes, okay? So underneath the title of the assignment, you will copy the MLA style citation from the article they are summarizing. I have put into course resources and in the summary folder how to create the hanging indent in Word. I made that video after class. It took me like 3 minutes to do it. I was like, why haven't I done this before? And so, but it shows you quite easily how to get to the paragraph, but you have to be working in Word. I'm not responsible for Google Docs or whatever Pages is in Mac, okay? I'm not responsible for those, okay? But, and here it says, figure that the summary will be 1/4 to 1/5 the length of the article. And that's not hard and true. A 1,000-word article will be between 200 and 250 words. That's reasonable. That's one reason why it says a page to a page and a half on that first assignment. Because I don't know if you're going to be dealing with 900 words, 2,000 words, or 5,000 words. I don't have that luxury. So I have to provide parameters that try to fit everything. But I don't want to see two full pages of a summary, okay? No more than a page and a quarter on your summary. So if you have a longer article, you've got to only stick to the main ideas. Don't give me any quotes, don't give me any statistics, only the main ideas that are covered. And so if you find an article that has headings in it, how much easier it is to say, in the beginning the author discusses this after your topic sentence, which is in the article such and such by so-and-so, the author discusses the impact of the death penalty on criminals. In the first section of the article, the author does this. Smith goes on in the second section to discuss this. So you do it linearly. You don't get to jump around the article and give me what you like out of it. You go, the first section of the article does this, second section does this. Don't say paragraphs, don't say pages, say sections. And try to, give me, be very concise about it, okay? But what that means, though, is that if you've got 5,000, I don't want to see 1,000 to 2,000 words in your summary. A summary is a very concise statement of what occurs in. That's one reason why the 900-word limit is for the article length, not for the summary. It's the article length. Because if I don't tell you to find an article of at least 900 words, people will go find one that has 250 in it and try to write a summary of something that's like 5 sentences. And that's not good writing. That's not teaching you the skill. But please notice it says this is not an accurate method. Longer articles will take more words, but it doesn't mean they're going to take 2,000. Once the summary is finished, the student will copy a sentence from the original article that you just summarized, okay? You don't paraphrase the summary. You're going to take a quote from that article, and I'm going to stop here and say a quote are any words written in the article. People hear quote and they think it has to be in quotation marks. No. Anytime you take somebody's words or ideas from a source and put it in and use it, it's in quotation marks. That's a quote. Okay? You have to find a sentence of a minimum of 30 words. It could be 2 sentences. Don't give me a sentence and a half. I've got to have complete thoughts so I know that you're doing it right. You'll copy and paste that after the summary, put quotation marks around it, and then underneath that paraphrase. And we're going to have just a little bit of time to work on paraphrase today. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into and find an article. So here I am over in General Article Databases. I'm going to go into, let me do Academic Search Complete because I've been dealing with opposing viewpoints. So I'm just going to type in death penalty. And I'm just going to click search, and you know what I'm going to find is a buttload of articles, okay? But if you look in here, one of the things, I'm going to blow it up, boom, boom. So because as you're looking in here, I can see it's pages 649 to 689. That's 40 pages long. I'm not going to do that article. I don't know why you'd want to do it. This one's in Russian, so probably not a good idea. Just telling you that. Here's 737 through 808. That's 70 pages long. Don't do it. There's another one. Okay, so I'm going to, all right, here's one that's 8 pages long. Formulative policy of death penalty for corruptors in Indonesia. Guys, I'm just telling you, first off, don't get articles that, if you're writing about something in the U.S., try to keep it in the U.S., okay? That's just a smart thing to do. Okay. There's a reason why I'm not doing this. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Okay, sorry. I'm going to go over to opposing viewpoints because I can find shorter articles. That's all I'm saying. But I'm not saying you can't use Academic Search Complete. And in fact, I'm going to click on news because that means it's coming out of newspapers. Newspaper articles are going to look different when you send them or email them to yourself, okay? So, let's see. I can't use 186 words, so that's 916. Trump's death penalty zeal may pave the way for its demise. The Daily Beast. Bill to repeal. That's 814. It's got to have 900. 896 is not 900. Like 555 is not 600 words on an essay that you have to write for me. You with me? 1,000. Let's hear. Virginia becomes the second state to abolish the death penalty. I'm going to open up that one. Okay. Now, I can email this to me or I can download it. If you're in it and you can download, please do so because you're going to get a different document than when you do it the other way. So I'm going to, if I open that up, I can see there's the actual copy of the document, and now I can save it. Okay? I'm just going to put that in there. But I want to show you what happens if I just email it to myself, send to. I'm going to click on email. Let's go to P. Thompson at South Plains from, I'm just going to say I sent it to myself. I'm going to go DP3. And it deletes the full, or it highlights the full text. I'm going to send that, and now it tells me it's been sent. I'm waiting for the ding to show that it's in my school email. There it is. So there's the article. This is the one, if I just email it to myself, what it looks like. And when I get over here, what I see is the article has been copied into the body of the email. So now I've got to click and drag this, okay? I've got to highlight this one. That's why it's easier to download. You get a better copy of the document. But it's got everything in it right here. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to open up a Word document. Let me go, File, New. And because it's just a copy of the article, I don't have to do it double-spaced. I'll put it in there. So I can see I've got everything I need. It just is in a Word document, 991 words. By the way, her name is Haley Fuchs. Fuchs and Sons were a big manufacturer of stuff back in the Northeast. It's out of the New York Times. All right. But when I'm doing that summary, I can still scroll to the bottom, and down at the bottom, I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger so that you guys can clearly see what I'm doing, okay? Down here at the bottom of the article, okay, it says copyright, then it says source citation, MLA 9th edition. That's not part of the citation, that just tells you what's following. So I'm going to click on her name, and I'm going to highlight all the way through 21 October 2021 because that's the access date. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to open up another Word document. Now, I need to double space because this is my summary. Okay? So, your name. I'm just shortening my name to Miss T. You don't get to do that. Let's see, this is 444. Yeah, 444 and 209, right? Okay, and this is due, the draft is due 22 October 2021. Please notice there's no punctuation except for the period where I abbreviated the date. That's not very big, is it? I don't know why I can't get that. There we go. That's better. All right, so the next line I'm going to center, and I'm going to type summary/paraphrase. And I've got to come take it off of center. I've got somebody who's turned in everything centered for some reason because I can't remember to do that after the title. Now I'm going to paste in, there's my citation. Ooh, that's big. I'm going to take it to 20 point. So now it's the same size as everything else, okay? But it doesn't have the hanging indent. So pardon me while I'm going to take this down to a little more reasonable size to work with. This is what you have instructions for in course resources or in the summary folder in this week. I'm gonna put my cursor up here. All I have to do is go to paragraph, find the little arrow here where it says paragraph settings, open it. Indents and spacing comes first, go down to indentation, go to special, click on hanging. I saw it shoot across on the bottom, and now that's formatted correctly, but it's not double spaced. So I need to go back in. That's how the document, because it's coming in the email, because I emailed it to me instead of downloading it, you're gonna have to do some, you can't turn it in single space because I'll have to count that as wrong. So I just go over here and put it on double space. That's the nice thing, is that it was single spaced. Okay, so there it is. All right, so now I'm gonna begin my summary. Now what I have to do, because I have programmed it to do a hanging indent, if I type words here, okay, these aren't words, but I'm just showing you. If I were typing my summary, it threw in the hanging indent. So I have to eliminate the hanging indent. So I go back up to the first line of the summary, go back to paragraph, and then take it, it says hanging, so I've got to go back now and take it to none. And see how it went back. So now when I do my summary, it's formatted correctly. Okay, in the article, guess what I'm gonna do? Because I'm too lazy to type it out, I'm gonna copy. Virginia becomes the 23rd state to abolish the death penalty. I'm copying that. And that's well and good, but there's one thing wrong. There's a period inside those closing quotation marks. I need to put a comma there because this is an introductory prepositional phrase. I need to go back, Haley, oh, not there, Betty. Haley Fuchs, H-A-I-L-E-Y, hope I can hang on, H-A-I-L-E-Y. S-E-C-H-S discusses the new mandate, there's another word for law, mandate in Virginia to the DP. And then I go on and I finish it, okay? So that's going to take up so much space. And every sentence will begin with some reference to Fuchs. The author, she writes, I will do that in every sentence, and I will go, Fuchs concludes with whatever. And then I'm halfway down, or, I'm wherever I am, if it's the full page and I'm on the next page, I'm going to type in the word paraphrase, phrase, okay. Now I'm going to go back to that article, which happens to be in a Word document right now. That's the one I want. So I'm going to go up here into her article. Let's see. I'm just going to select this sentence, okay? I'm going to highlight it. And for me to check, because remember I have to quote something that's at least 30 words. That looks like it's at least 30 words, but for me to check it, I'll just come into review and go to word count, and I can see that it's 33. That's even better. I don't have to do any extra work. So now I've copied it. I'm going to go back over to my summary, and underneath paraphrase, I'm going to load that in. Let's make it all the same size. I'm going to make everything 14. That's not 14. There we go, now it's the same size as everything else. All right, but what I have to do though, I'm going to have to put quotation marks around it so that Ms. Thompson, when she grades it, knows it's the paraphrase. I'm going to have to make it double spaced again. Okay. Because I'm cheating and copying instead of typing it out. But I don't have any problems with you copying and pasting. Just make sure you get the formatting correct. So now I have right here the sentence that I'm going to paraphrase. So, as I look at it, I'm going to say, okay, I guess I could look for a different word for gurney. I could look for new. I can't change somebody's name, said, and I might add, that might be a word I can change, adding that the same as said. These are just words I'm highlighting for myself to know that these are words that I could use synonyms for to make this a paraphrase. That the same, that's a word that could be changed. Wooden chair. I'm guessing that's is that, Okay, remained. So I'm just looking through here words that I can do. Okay, but that's how I would suggest you start to do this, okay? So, now that I'm looking at gurney, I'm gonna let my computer do some of the work for me. I'm gonna copy that, I'm gonna go to review, because review, in addition to doing word count, also has the thesaurus in it. And I've got the word, because I highlighted gurney, it's in there. We couldn't find any similar words. So what is a gurney? It's a movable bed, isn't it? Okay, the, execution bed, okay, that might be what I could put in there, would be execution bed. Was new, so gurney's not there, but I'm gonna type in the word new now. Novel, newfangled, original, innovative, fresh, different, firsthand, latest, up to the minute, contemporary, recent, modern. The modern, adding that the same, was modern, so I could put modern in there. Was the newest improved model. See how there's words I can add that changed it. In the place of the word said, I can just type in said up here. Spoke, suppose, thought, alleged, felt. See, it gives you the list of words. You don't have to do it. If you're stuck, you can always go to your phone to, just go to Google, type in thesaurus, thesaurus.com will come up. It's okay, it has limited answers, okay? Kind of like this. But I would go through and do that, and then, so underneath here I might say, I would go, the hospital bed was the latest model according to Mr., see how I'm kind of changing it, Soroval? According to Mr. Soroval. Also stating that the execution chair had, see how I'm doing it, had not been updated. See how I'm doing it as I go along? That's what you do, and it would help if I'd shown you what I was doing. So this was me paraphrasing it, okay? It's a good skill to have. So the skills you gain out of doing this particular assignment is you're learning summary, you're learning paraphrase. When you have to write papers for other classes, paraphrasing is important. You still have to give credit when you paraphrase because it's somebody else's ideas or information. So that's what I'm looking for. So when you turn in your document when you upload it to that submit draft of summary paraphrase here, now I want to see a document. I'm actually going to shrink this down a bunch now. Then we'll have a lot more in it, but so as gotta get out of here. For some reason I can't get to the plus or minus area in Word, and oh, that's too small. But I'm gonna see, yeah, this is how difficult it is to shrink or plus. Yeah, come here. So that when I look at it, there it is back to what it was. I see two distinct sections, the summary and then the paraphrase. But they're related. You paraphrase at least 30 words in a sentence. It can be more, it can't be less. I will count them, because that's how I roll, okay? It's like, I do word count, and believe me, as I printed out the compare and contrast essays, anytime somebody turned in a paper, I looked down to see what the word count was at the bottom, because when I open up stuff to grade, let me show you what happens very quickly. Let me get out. I've got all these articles and things I've created. When I'm in your class, and I go to Grade Center, means grading. So here's, you guys can see what I see. So 31 total items to grade, and it's all going to be turn in the final, the compare and contrast essay. Guess who's up first? You. Okay. So I'm just going to open up Kel's article. And because it's turn it in, I'm going to have to shrink this down, folks, because it's not going to allow me to do this. But right down here, see how there's Kel's article? Right down here where it says page 1 of 3, I see word count, 707. If yours was short, I made a note of it, and I wrote it at the top of your paper. And trust me, there were short papers in this class, okay? And so, then the other thing that you may not be able to tell is right over here it says 5. that tells me how much is plagiarized, or how much is from a source. And so I see carsdirect.com. Yeah, but you know, there you are throwing in that 3.3 liter V6 with 290 horsepower, you know. I don't really consider that plagiarism. That's, you know, how we talked, egregious is if every word shows up coming from somebody else, okay? The Ram 1500 has 3.6, okay? Here we've got, and is the Insurance Highway Institute for top safety pick. So you're actually just giving me, you're telling me who that is. So you gave the source. So that's what happens. So hopefully you've got this page in front of you that says, paraphrasing with synonyms. Worksheet 1, we're not gonna make it to worksheet 2, I'll just tell you, okay? So, let's see. So I'll kind of work my way through this, and then I'm gonna get you guys to help me. I'm gonna have you guys do some, okay? I'm trying to figure out, I want document camera. I had to stop and think what I wanted. So you can tell, I've already written all over this page, okay? So, on this particular exercise, they have given you sentences and underlined words that you should find synonyms for, which is what I did with that sample sentence, isn't it? So, we're gonna see, it begins with around 30,000 children may be helped by the proposed free lunch program. So, you're gonna see, around could be about, close, roughly, approximately. Those are 4 different synonyms that mean the same and would work in this context. All right? And that was given to me by the students at 8 o'clock this morning, so I'm thinking that's pretty good for them, because it's hard to be awake. Children could be students. You could say elementary students. You could say K through 12 students. See how I could expand on that sentence and give it even more meaning. Maybe help. Other words for help are assisted. Can be, well, assisted works. I think that's the only one I got down. By the proposed. Now, if I go into thesaurus and type in the word proposed, I don't get as helpful ones as I want. But in this instance, it is more like the word proposal, okay? Which is a plan. So that's why the word plan is up here. Free lunch program, okay? So that's kind of what you do. So what I'm gonna have you guys do is I'm gonna have, let's see, New Deal, do 1, 2, and 3, because those are all short. Post, do 4 and 5, and SBC do 6 and 7. I just want you to do those. You can just write in what words you would put above them, and I'll give you a few minutes to do that. But are we cool on what I'm expecting on the summary paraphrase? It seemed so clear to me, and, you know, I realized that it wasn't because of that student yesterday, so. Good, I hit a new debt payoff milestone. That's awesome. Just gonna give you about another minute, okay? Oh. Okay, interesting. I have tickets for the Amy Grant concert on Tuesday, but they're not even sending them to us till the 23rd. I'm like, okay, good. All right, let's go over here to 3. I've already got them over there. And so, let's see. New Deal had 1, 2, and 3. Post had 4 and 5, and you guys had 6 and 7. Okay. All right, let's start out with New Deal. You had 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7. That worked out well. Okay. So, New Deal. All of the people, what did you guys come up with for people?
Which
It's number,
what
sentence number
which
2.
one are
All
we
of the
doing again?
people
I'm
you guys
sorry.
studied hard, so did you come up with a sentence for people?
For people,
Yeah.
students for number 2.
Yeah. All of the students
Okay.
in class studied what?
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
All of the students studied, what did you do in place of hard?
Oh, rigorously.
Vigorously, okay. That's a popular word, all right. So then we go on to the second half, the second sentence. The effect was a big increase in test scores. What did you get for effect?
Result.
Results, okay. How about big increase?
Improvement.
I didn't
Improvement.
hear.
Improvement.
Okay, but you didn't do anything for big. What about significant improvement? See how that's the more positive note. We want to make sure we get plenty. You guys also have 3. If you use cheap paper and discount ink, what do we get for cheap and discount?
Inexpensive and marked down.
What did you, I didn't hear the first part.
Inexpensive.
Inexpensive and marked down. Marked down, discount ink, yes. Discount ink does not always mean that it's not a decent brand, it's just been reduced price reduction. The quality of your printed documents will suffer. How about suffer?
Decrease.
Decrease, okay. The situation can be avoided. How about situation?
Circumstance.
Circumstance can be avoided, or possibly you could say the problem. Yeah. Can be avoided by switching. What do you do in place of switching?
Changing.
Changing, exchanging, swapping to high quality. What about instead of product?
Items.
Items, brands, materials. There's a lot of ones that are on these, okay? It's all applicable. All right, now we go to post for number 4. The weather forecast says it will be mostly windy and rainy over the next few days. What'd you get for over?
Throughout.
Throughout? And then how'd you do the next few days then?
Several.
Okay, several days? Or could you not say, we're at Thursday, could you not say throughout the weekend or through the weekend? Depending on where it occurs in the time, that's a possibility. Okay. In addition, how about in place of in addition?
Furthermore.
Furthermore, yeah. A strong typhoon.
Powerful.
Powerful. Do you know what a typhoon actually is? A synonym for a typhoon? A typhoon is a big weather system that occurs in the oceans and then moves on to land. What are those called? spinning, you've got the eye of the, not tiger, but hurricane.
hurricane?
Yeah, a powerful typhoon, so you can always change it. Typhoon is the term used in the eastern hemisphere for hurricanes, okay? Is expected, what did you put in place of hammer?
Attack?
Attack. Yesterday, one of my schools used the word collide. And if you stop and think about the devastation created by hurricanes, when that weather, that thing that's above the surface and above the water hits the landmass, there is a collision. It's almost like a big wreck. And we've seen how devastating they've been in the last few years, okay? Number 5 is also post. A science teacher caught 2 high school students,
Witnessed?
witnessed 2 high school students smoking outside the school cafeteria. Ooh, that's never happened on any campus. Yeah, it has. Okay, sorry, just being facetious there. The question would be, what were they smoking? And this day and age, if you get caught smoking cigarettes, they don't expel you. They send, you get in trouble. And actually, it's against the law, because you have to be 21 to buy cigarettes anyway. Oh, those of you who say that, want to lower the drinking age, there's one of the things right there. Okay, sorry. How about this action? What did you put in place of action?
Act.
This act, this choice, this bad behavior, force the principal. And by the way, that's the wrong principle. It should be P-A-L, not P-L-E. I didn't create this document. I found it online, okay? I'm not going to force the principal to expel. What do you get for to expel?
To remove?
To remove. Then for violating.
Disobeying?
Disobeying the school's no smoking. What about policy?
Guidelines.
Guidelines, rules. Okay, for violating. Violating is a word that has a negative, much more negative connotation than disobeying, right? So there's a reason you picked that word, because you want to, they violated the sanctity of the school's policies or something. It's much worse, okay? All right, we're up to SPC. The engineer must judge how much dynamite to use. What did you put in place to judge? Determine?
Yeah, determine.
Determine, okay. How much dynamite to use according to?
I put in line with,
Huh?
in line with.
In line with the quantity of material to be removed from the tunnel? Quantity, what's the other word for quantity? Amount, okay. But, in my mind, to try to, just change certain words, you might say, the engineer must determine, according to mathematical precepts, how much dynamite is needed to excavate the undesired material from I would go off in that direction. I would actually do more work on that, okay? What you do on about skateboarding is a fun way to exercise. What, I'm sorry?
Exciting.
Exciting?
Enjoyable.
Enjoyable?
Amazing.
Huh?
Amazing.
Amazing, okay. In my mind, enjoyable is probably the better word, because enjoy, fun, if you enjoy something you're having, amazing takes us a different direction, and so does exciting, yeah. And so it just puts a little bit to exercise, meet people, and look cool. What's another term to use for cool?
Rad.
Huh?
Rad.
Rad. I haven't heard that word in a while. Rad. Okay, what else?
I put fresh.
Fresh? Is that a term for something that's cool? Is that kind of new coming in? It used to be fat. What does woke mean? If you're really woke. Yeah, how do you use the term woke? How about dope? That's dope. Is dope good? That's cool? Okay, I would say awesome, but that's my age.
Yeah.
And then you might could say copacetic too, or groovy. Boy, am I aging myself rapidly, aren't I? Okay. It is a popular sport with around 10 million skaters worldwide. What do you do with around? We had it earlier. Approximately, about, close to, okay. Worldwide, what are you going to say?
Universal.
Universally?
Around the world.
How about globally? Yeah. Based on this information, what's another word for information? Knowledge. Based on this information, but to get that information, somebody had to do research, so you could say, based on this research, skateboard companies worked hard to develop new products,
Manufacture.
manufacture, evolve, create, all good words. New products for this large group of consumers. Skateboarders, or what are they? They are buyers, customers. Okay, so see, you can do a lot with paraphrasing, okay? I just love this little thing that it's got wheels, I can roll it around, okay? So, all I'm looking for you guys today, as it zooms in, like it's gonna hit me in the face again, is to get your summary done in your paraphrase. So we did a little bit of exercise with it. We don't have time to do the rest. It's 10:45, 9:45? I've been here for a while, so, that's all I have to say. So please, make sure you get that done so you get full credit, okay? And, get them turned in, look over apostrophes. We're gonna do peer revision next Wednesday, and then I've got schedules around here somewhere. It's interesting, I printed off schedules, but I didn't print myself one off, or give myself one. I've gone through and actually updated the syllabus, my hard copy, my online copy. So, yeah, we're gonna submit, so Monday, we're gonna do peer revision. You need 2 copies for class. You'll submit the final copy, and then we'll start strategies for argument, okay? So we've got actually a month to get that paper written for the argumentative essay, but we've already started doing our research, okay? So have a great weekend. Good luck if you're playing football. Sean, how are you feeling? Okay? Sean in this class? He is, isn't he? Okay? Nope, Sean's in the other class. Sorry. Y'all tell Sean I asked about him, okay? Hey, I remembered. I had somebody from post with a concussion, so. Alrighty? So, be sure and get that in. Okay, I'm glad I read that about the tickets. Okay. Okay.
Your conference is scheduled to end in 2 minutes. Your conference is now over. Goodbye.